like the Russians hacked it?
Probably not.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's good. That was my dad's catchphrase. So how's everybody doing? Oh, we're doing pretty good. Well, that's good.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, you got it. Awesome. Howdy, Lynn. Howdy, Ashley. Oops, can't spell it. Ashley.
Oh.
Just generic out. Hi, family.
This has been an awkward, weird morning, Mr. Lawrence.
Okay. So you woke up, doorbell ringing. You looked out. There was 3 or 4 cows outside. What happened?
They wanted to be milked, but it was too cold.
So we had ice cream instead.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Howdy, Colby. You weren't expecting that.
Colby's here too? Oh, right. Inside Ashley. Jeez. Good morning, Colby and Ashley and Lynn and Jasmine and Nadi. Hello, Erica. Matt. Am I missing anybody?
I don't know, but aren't you? Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. If everybody that read along with us, did you have any comments, questions over what this week's study is?
They probably needed a little bit more warning about what we were doing.
I know. Well, that's what happens when you plan things off the cuff.
Right. Ha ha ha. You stole that.
I stole that.
That's okay. I'm sure he won't mind. He's probably the least offendable person on this earth. So
He is a really down-to-earth fellow.
I love him.
That, Lynn, yes, it seems there's a lot of blood going around. You know, and that's something I had a thought about while you were reading, talking about putting the blood all over everything. Where was their biohazard gear?
Well, I mean, being that their bathroom setup was what it was, I'm sure that they didn't really worry too much about that.
Is it that they weren't worried about germs, or that they were doing all this in obedience?
Oh yeah, of course. It had to be about obedience because that's what he desires more.
Yeah, Lynn, that's right. Yah was the biohazard gear. Abba was the biohazard.
I love that. I was thinking about their outfit, their garments, right? Because even their garments were sprinkled with the blood from the altar. I mean, how do you get blood out of fabric back then?
With salt.
I just found that really interesting. Okay, keep your eyes on the road, Erica.
Yep, our granny could get a stain out of anything.
Your
with
granny?
Salt or baking soda. Yep. Depending on what the fabric was.
I have a couple nuggets. Well, meaning doesn't mean that I have discovered something, just something that stuck out to me. Hey, Heather and Gary. Okay, so like in Exodus chapter 27, just in the very, very first verse, like verse 20, And thou shalt come, chapter 27, verse 20.
Okay.
And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring the pure olive oil beaten for the light to cause the lamp to burn always. Okay, I was just having like a mushy moment. Pure and beaten, that our oil in our life needs to be pure. And how is it pure? It's beaten, because there must be another kind of olive oil that you can make that isn't beaten. Maybe another oil, another process. I don't know. I'm just shooting from the hip, but I was thinking maybe there's different kinds of ways of producing oil, but this one's like, it's saying beaten. It's specifying. So I'm just, assuming maybe there's another kind of way of making oil.
Pressing.
Well, I thought that was the same, but I guess it's not. So I like that it needed to be, I like the words pure, not just olive oil for the light that causes the lamp to burn always. It adds these other two words, pure and beaten, to it. And so that makes me remember when I was thinking about the 10 virgins and the oil, and how do you keep your oil lamp filled? Maybe they had the wrong oil, maybe like whatever it was, but I remember getting this sort of impression years ago about keeping the oil clean. It's not just about keeping the oil lamp filled. It's about making sure that the oil that's in the lamp, clean oil. And so that just stuck out to me. I really like that. And then to cause the lamp to burn always, meaning that it's never always supposed to be attentive to it, never, like always be very, very focused on making sure that the oil is always topped up so that it can always be burning. And then that ties in with this other one over here. Exodus verse 30. Yeah, Exodus chapter 30, verse 7. It says, and Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning when he dresseth the lamps, and he shall burn incense upon it. Like every morning, he tended to the lamps. What's in the lamps? Oil. And it was something sweet that he did. Of course, it was required of him, but if we think about it, every morning, double checking our lamp and then our oil and making sure it's clean, and then dealing with it every morning. I just seen a really, really nice collaboration between those two.
Well, can you adjust your computer? That Google search is worthless, maybe. But it says there's cold pressed and then expeller pressed.
I can't. You have to give me control.
No, I just meant your computer. So the microphone wasn't right over the speaker.
Oh, okay. And is that better?
We want to see your ceiling.
Well, I mean, you seem to. Oh, you're welcome. Is it Heather or Gary or both? Bless you guys.
Lynn says expeller uses chemicals.
Fired for truth. Hello. Oh, and goodbye. Peace out. Okay. Pressing, yeah.
Yes, he said he was in and out.
Okay.
Thanks, Fired.
Expelling chemicals. Yeah, I just think it.
I wonder if the beaten, I'm going to take it literally, and that they have to beat where it's just allows the berry or the fruit of the olive to just seep a little bit, that very first initial oil, maybe. Mind you, I'm going off of remembering back 40 years when we used to have olive fights.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's olive trees all over the place out here. Yep, but they just use them for decoration. So the green ones are pretty hard.
Yeah, Lynn made a point there. Maybe beating them keeps the oil cleaner. Pressing might keep particles.
Maybe.
Yeah. I really liked in Exodus 28, verse 2. Like, this is just like my response, I guess, maybe more from like a relational standpoint. But verse 2, when it says, "And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron, thy brother, for glory and for beauty." I just like he wants us to wear garments that are set apart for glory and for beauty. Like, I mean, of course, not as a priest necessarily, but I'm just trying to overlay it in our daily lives, right? The garments that we put on. And then it says in verse 3, "And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom." Wow. I mean, he was filling other people with wisdom long ago, which is just really beautiful. Anyway.
Jasmine says, beating bruises often. Oh my gosh, that's like the worst echo ever. Seriously. I can hear it. I don't know if everybody else can hear it.
Can you give me control of the control room, and then I'll adjust my volume on our thing?
I'm kind of, not sure about sharing controls.
Clearly.
I'm a pilot. Beating bruises and softens.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Look at the like the examples we can draw from that. Is that better? I can hear the sound that's squeaking out of your lips.
Good.
But is it better though? Does it sound?
It is.
It
it is
okay.
Better.
Okay.
You're much quieter.
My apologies.
Anyways, it does. For some reason, all I can picture now is a big shiner, black eye. Beating bruises and softens. Okay. Who else had some observations? Hey, all right. Thank you, Colby. I appreciate that. Okay,
What?
Anyway.
Am I locked out because I have nothing else besides Jasmine?
Who did what?
The last comment I have is beating and bruises and softens from Jasmine. There's more comments. Is there more comments after that?
No. I'm looking at something else.
Oh. Did you guys all read with us, by the way? Maybe that will help because maybe it's only a few people.
Possibly.
Which is okay because everything was very quick.
Right?
Okay, so, I read. Oh, awesome. No, that's okay, Natty. We're going to do this like, as far as I know, we're going to do this instead of doing day 5 show. We'll do day 7 Bible study like this, and then we'll still probably have, day 1 show.
Could this be tied to affecting our souls like Day of Atonement? What part specifically?
That's interesting. Meaning like the bruising part.
Oh, maybe.
I'm thinking anyway. Probably. Like, I think that keeping ourselves humble and I was just gonna say humble and repentant. Yeah. So then you need to bring it forward, keeping it before you, being aware of our own nature and bringing ourselves towards repentance. Yeah. Character building. Yes. Yes.
So it's kind of like self-flagellation.
Well, I mean, when we go, like, it was Matthew 5, right? Matthew 5, what does it talk about? About being a light, being a lamp, about making sure that we're staying on point by guarding Abba's commandments. So yeah, like, it's about us personally keeping repentant, staying humble, because it's a part of a bigger picture. The responsibility of Aaron and his sons it wasn't just about them, it was about all of Israel. They represented all of Israel.
So the Exodus 28, verse 2, you were talking about, thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. Glory is a covering, right?
Yeah, I can't. Yes.
So it's almost like, you shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for modesty and beauty.
Yes.
Is the way I was seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely. For beauty, like the covering is for beauty. It's for adornment, is for, like, he delights in it. Like, look how much Abba delights in decorating this garment that he's making for his representatives. I mean, there's like 6 pieces to this garment, and then it goes into detail about the rings and about the tying and about the linen and about the threading, and he wants the best people to make. He loves beautiful things, and beautiful things represent something, right? Anyway, I don't know. It's just kind of like you get a tiny little snippet of the inside of the mind of Abba when it comes to something beautiful, like looking at a field of wildflowers, and then you look at a priest decorated. Like, he's so specific. It's beautiful.
It is very specific, though, too. Like,
yes.
The
Yeah.
embroidery, and the way the stones are to be placed and marked.
Yeah.
And how the stones are also in birth order for the children of Jacob, the sons of Jacob.
I liked how, like, on the shoulders, where it's like the names of 6 and 6 of the 12, right? But then the 2 are made one. I thought that was really interesting, like how they're 2 separate pieces, but they're connected by one. It's like kind of, and I was thinking about the 2 houses and the 2 branches, and they're one. I thought that was kind of nice. He is so true. What else? Chapter 29. I have to look into it some more just to make sure that I caught this right, but it looks to me like there are 3 sacrifices or 3 offerings made in chapter 29 of Exodus, but the third offering was used in 3 different ways. So there's 3 offerings, but then the third offering was divided into 3 different actions. I thought that was interesting. That's the first time I ever noticed that. But okay, so I guess it's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what you want. My goodness, I have so much in the Haftorah, or the Brit Hadashah. There's like Philippians, and there's Revelations, and there's Romans. He's got such a long list of things to read. Oh, yeah.
I've noticed, though, in the past, it seems like a lot of times with those, we're looking at them and saying, how does that fit in with the rest of this?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes like it definitely does, but there is a connection, but you just have to sit and take the time. Like the ones in Isaiah are like the prophetic connection to the sacrifice, right? To the sacrifices that were made in Exodus, just like the prophetic correlation to Yeshua. Like Isaiah 60, verses 19 and 20. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. For the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. You know, we're talking about light, we're talking about oil, and we're talking about keeping it clean, and that he's going to be our light. No more tending to the day and to the night and to the oil. He's going to be our light through and through. Okay. You're so quiet, Mr. Lawrence.
Everybody knows I am. I am really quiet. Said nobody ever. Yay, Erica's home safe.
That's interesting.
That was a short drive.
She was probably driving forever.
Oh, goodness. What about Ezekiel? Where were we in that? Since you read the first part was...
Well, Ezekiel 28, Ezekiel 43, and then I have a tiny little snippet of Ezekiel 44, which is one of your chapters that you brought up to me years ago that for some reason, I can't forget.
43:10 to 27, but what was the one you had to squeeze in there? Chapter what?
I had 28, 11 to 19. And then chapter 43, 10 to 27. And then I never read Ezekiel 44. I stopped at just the first two chapters. Would you like me to read that one?
No.
Okay.
But I got a text. That's why I was distracted. Anyways. I was telling, Jimmy said it kind of bums him out. Having trouble reconciling all the animal sacrifices with Father's character. And I was asking him if he had seen the double show that Jake and Dr. Pigeon, Stephen Pigeon, did the other day, talking about how the words that were translated as the way they were and what caused them those actions. He's of the contention that we most likely were supposed to give animals as an offering, but not as a sacrifice, not to shed their blood initially. I forget exactly how he worded it. If you guys saw it in the chat, if anyone saw it, it was basically, "Hi, Jimmy's daughter." Ha. Okay, anyways. With him, he's contending that because they just came out of Egypt and they made the golden calf and were sacrificing to it, that basically he ordained all these sacrifices as a kind of like methadone for coming off heroin or something like that, to wean them off of animal sacrifices until we get to the final blood sacrifice, which is Yeshua, Jesus, on the cross. I'm not a big barbecue fan, but hey, it's okay if you are. Howdy, KC. And I think JP McMahon, what is that? The Way Biblical Fellowship or something? What's our channel?
Yep, that's it. The Way Biblical Fellowship.
Yep, did a similar word study quite some time back.
Yeah, he does call it a sweet savor. Like, I mean, even if there is the possibility that that's not the way Abba wanted it before the infraction that Aaron committed.
Well,
He's
just
calling
real quick. Psalm 51:16, for thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. Isaiah 1:11. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of he-goats. Jeremiah 6:20. To what purpose cometh there to me incense from Sheba and the sweet cane from a far country? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable, nor your sacrifices sweet unto me. Jeremiah 7:22 through 24. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. Right? So when they left Egypt, that wasn't on the table. But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and ye shall be my people. And walk ye in the ways of all that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you. Verse 24, but they hearkened not, nor inclined their ear, but walked in the counsels and the imagination of their evil heart, and went backward, not forward. And the reason that I've made this contention for quite some time, that the whole reason Aaron and his sons were put in charge of the priesthood is because Aaron, said, oh, you want something to worship? Well, bring all your gold over and we'll make a molten calf. And then that's what they were worshiping. But Numbers 18:1, and the Lord said unto Aaron, thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. He doesn't say of my priesthood. He says you shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. So that's something to it. And just going off the what I can recall, I believe J.P. McMahon's whole word study on that was based upon the fact that the very first time sacrifice is translated in English, it's either sacrifice or burnt offering, but the first time it's used, it's the exact same word as the wave offering or the grain offering. Anyways, there's definitely much more to study on the subject.
Yeah, because like when Abba asked Abraham to give a sacrifice, right? And then the covenant that Abba made with him was with blood and animals. It's all very, very interesting.
What's Jimmy's question? Gwen became... So at one point he asked for it, then it became offensive.
I don't see a contradiction. I think it became offensive because of what people were doing with it, how they were defiling it. Just like now, how people are defiling his commandments and his statutes. They're not guarding it anymore. Like, I don't think the action itself became offensive. It was what the action was doing. You come in my name, but get away from me. I didn't know you. You're using all of these things, but your heart isn't in it. Your heart doesn't know me. Like Yeshua was talking to the Pharisees and the Sadducees because they were hypocrites. They were using the word and then they were bending it and adding their own stuff, and it was becoming disgusting because they were defiling his statutes. They were defiling his commandments, his precepts, all of these things in every little way, right? The abomination of desolation that we create in our own temples. Like Abba doesn't like that. It's disgusting to him. He wants us to be holy and set apart. That's just where I'm at right now anyway. Oh. If you have some kombucha, Erica, feed your dog some kombucha, like from the SCOBY.
What?
She has a sick puppy.
Oh. I looked out yesterday and the dog was chowing down grass like a cow grazing in summer.
I always thought that when dogs ate, they have, and then they eat it because it helps to settle their tummy. Is that not right?
I don't know. None of them have ever told me.
Yeah, it's just like a probiotic. Like you can put it in your plants. But I mean, if your doggy's sick, maybe his immune system is weak, it'll just help. I'm not sure if it'll help your puppy, but that's the first thing that jumped into my brain. Hello, Dr. Michael. Hi, Sky. You're funny. Oh, it's her digestive system. So then maybe it just might, maybe she just needs to have a really good something come out her other end, and then she'll be okay.
So what was it? What were your notes on the Ezekiel 28?
I didn't have notes. I just read through it really quick.
Oh.
I didn't have any notes.
It was about the king of Tyrus being in the Garden of Eden.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
That I can see how that's connected to the study we just did, because talking about the stones on the breastplate of the high priest, if you look in verse 13 of Ezekiel 28, it said, "Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold." Wait.
Isn't that amazing how Abba redesigned that same thing for the priest to wear?
But it's only 9 stones.
Oh, I never counted. Okay, so we're short.
Short 3 tribes. I mean, 3 stones.
Interesting. Well, either way, I mean.
In which stones are missing. Electronic modesty.
Yes. Yeah, they did have 12, Dr. Mike, but like as.
So the 3 that weren't accounted for are what? Ephraim, Manasseh, and one of the other ones. The 3 tribes, as far as if you go by the stones.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't have that list in front of me. Do I have it in the back of my Bible here?
I got it.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Amethyst and yes, they are all engraved in a stone.
Let's see.
I think I'm getting hungry now.
In order of their birth. Computer's going mongo slow. Oh, Naphtali, Joseph, and Benjamin. If you go that way, right? So this is the listing of tribes as in Revelation. But the 3 missing would be beryl, onyx, and jasper. Is that right?
No, there's onyx in there. There's
In which one?
In Ezekiel's.
Let me look at the other one. Okay, this one is the Old Testament list. So beryl, onyx. See, onyx is still there though.
Yeah.
Jasper.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got sardius, topaz, carbuncle.
Oh wait, no, carbuncle's there.
Emerald, sapphire, diamond.
Yeah, those are there.
Ligure.
Oh, that's not there.
Agate, amethyst.
Amethyst, agate, and the one I couldn't say. Lithur. Those are the 3 that are missing.
Liguri. Which one? Liguri, what?
Yeah, that one. Amethyst and
Jasper?
no, Jasper's there.
Interesting.
You named the 3 that were missing just now. So there's sardis, topaz. These are the ones that are in Ezekiel. Sardis, topaz, diamond, beryl, onyx, jasper, sapphire, emerald, and carbuncle and gold.
And which one was that?
That was Ezekiel's.
Okay, so
Amethyst is
Exodus.
missing. 28. 13.
See, in Ezekiel or in Exodus, they're mentioned in order, right? So the first row is sardius, topaz, and carbuncle. Remember, this is in their birth order that he's telling them to do this. Right? The second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row,
Ligure, amethyst, and agate. That whole row is missing.
Which one?
The amethyst row, that whole row is missing. Agate, amethyst, and whatever the other one, ligure, those 3 are missing. Because then I have beryl, onyx, and jasper, and gold.
Right.
Gold was never in that list.
Well, gold is the setting.
Okay.
And that. Oh. Okay.
Right.
Any observations from Matthew 5, anybody? 13 through 20?
quickly because I have something to add. If anybody has something to say.
To John 5, Matthew 5.
No, I don't. I have something to say about Isaiah 9, 6 and 7.
What does that have to do with this?
It does. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. And upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. I was just thinking about the shoulders thing, about the two, the tribes being split into 2, 6, and 6 on the shoulders of the, what's it called? Can't remember what it was called, the straps that are on the shoulders. Like there's the rings of gold attached to the ephod, but there's these pieces that are on rows on the shoulder straps. And then the government will be on his shoulders. Maybe there's a correlation to that. Anyways, that's all I have for now.
You know, it's interesting where that starts in verse 13 of Matthew chapter 5.
Right?
Because it goes right into, it's right after, right following after the traditional Beatitudes.
Yeah.
Right? And it's interesting. I'm just looking at the way some of these are phrased. Right? Like number 10, verse 10, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. For righteousness' sake. Right? Not just them that are persecuted, but for righteousness' sake also. Right? So it's a qualifier. Blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you, and say all manner of evil against you falsely, for my sake. Right? Not just if they're talking bad about you, but if they're doing it because you're trying to get them to understand his word, or you're spreading his gospel, his doctrine. Anyways. Yep. If you are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. If you've lost your saltiness, men are going to walk all over you.
So then the question would be, how are we salt? What does salt do? What does salt mean?
Salt is two things. It's a preservative and it's a flavor enhancer. Right? So think about all the times that you have been discussing scripture with somebody, and especially Gwen, getting all excited and well, I look at it like this because I believe it like that, and then they look at it and they're like, oh yeah, that makes total sense, and all of a sudden the word tastes better that they're eating.
Right.
The salt of the earth.
Yeah.
You know, and just that right there, salt of the earth, can bring us all round backtrack to what was our original stated purpose on earth, right? To the English is typically translated to have dominion over and subdue, but it's a management thing. You're supposed to take care of it.
Guard it. Like I was thinking about when you use the word preserve. Like, yeah, like we constantly hear like guard my commandments, guard, keep, like guard, protect, preserve his ways, his time, his instructions, guard them, preserve them, keep them.
Pickle them. Casey says, I heard just today one of the prophets that put salt in the fountain and cured the miscarriages for Yahuwah's people. Right? And I think we just went, our household just read over that.
Where?
Some mighty things.
Where? Which book? Where is it? That's
it's
rad.
Somewhere between Genesis and Revelation.
Well, you guys just read it, so you're close to
We're
Nehemiah.
moving so fast. We're reading 3 chapters a night.
Okay, but you were just in Nehemiah.
Yeah, but it's before that. It's in
Thanks, Casey. Way to just put a
Kings or Chronicles. It's in Kings or Chronicles. I think Chronicles, though.
Oh, she's saying that it was on the river winds. Oh, right. Well, I mean, yeah.
They don't have their own Bible, Casey. That.
Yes, it carries nutrients. Yes. The word carries nutrients. It is healing. Cool. Thanks, Casey. That's pretty rad.
It is 2 Kings 2:21. And the men of the city said unto Elisha, Behold, I pray thee, the situation of this city is pleasant as my Lord seeth, but the water is not, and the ground barren. And he said, Bring me a new cruse, and put salt therein. And they brought it to him. And he went forth unto the spring of the waters, and cast the salt in there, and said, Thus saith the Lord, I have healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren land. So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spake. So that's 2 Kings chapter 2.
That's pretty awesome. He's using like natural and spiritual elements to show us how effective what he has created can do if it's used correctly and not perverted. Don't be so hard on yourself, Casey. It's just fine. Yes, salt purifies. Yes, it does. It's amazing. It takes the dirty out and it cleanses you. And once you're cleansed, you can be restored. That's awesome.
Erica just read that this week also.
Yeah. Salt. You are the salt, it says. You are the salt of the earth. So we need to preserve ourselves, protect ourselves.
But if we're not preserving anything, and we're not keeping infection away.
Yeah, and affection away from mind, body, soul, spirit, the whole thing.
Yep.
We can keep our bodies clean, but if we don't fill it with the right thing, like we can, like for instance, diet, you can stop eating bad food, but you have to be purposeful and eat right food. It's not just about staying away from something. It's about putting something in that's really good. Just like when that demon was removed from that person, it was removed, cleaned out. The house was cleaned out. Then they decorated it, but then it came back sevenfold.
Said, hey, check this out.
Yeah, it's so pretty in here.
They refurbished the place.
Yeah. So it's purposely what we put back in it. So we can't just remove stuff and just put curtains up. You know, we got to, sorry.
You reminded me of this thing we just watched where they, for a semester-long college experiment, or a college work thing. They took a group of, I think, like 20 vegans. And for this experiment, half of them could eat anything so long as it was labeled vegan. And the other ones had to eat as close to the plant as possible, meaning minimal preparation of food directly from the growing source. And at the end of the, I think it was 3 weeks or a month, but at the end, the ones eating the processed food, the stuff to look like fake pizza, and they were eating at Taco Bell because you can get vegan stuff according to Taco Bell, and et cetera, et cetera. Those people were like having trouble sleeping, and they couldn't concentrate, and their test grades were going down. And the other people the people that were eating as close to the garden as possible had more energy and they were like acing all their tests and everything. It was just an interesting little thing. By no means is it conclusive.
Right.
Salt and light, Casey says. So are we
Yeah.
talking salt lamps?
Well, that's where I think like you can, if salt loses its saltiness, well, how does salt lose its saltiness?
To be honest, I didn't know it could before I read that. And I can't say that, I don't know. I'm sure when growing up, we had a container of salt that was like ancient that probably wasn't very salty anymore.
I
But I don't know.
think that it has to be used incorrectly or be used and not guarded, right? Like guard the salt, right? So if you use too much salt on something, it's horrible. You don't want to ingest it. You can overdose on salt and it's not good. Way too much. If you don't put enough, then it's like, what's the point? How does it lose it? Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Like, does it go stale? Does it go bad? Oxidation? I don't know. That'd be really interesting to find out if something was salty once and then isn't salty anymore. There's a transition, there's a transaction there that's important to understand. So anyways. Where did Jimmy go? After he asked me that question, he disappeared. He is gone.
All right. Well, if we have no more commentary, then do you have anything else, Gwen?
No, I don't.
Okay. We are going to try to do this every week on first day or seventh day. We'll see you first day tomorrow, though. So seventh day, rest day.
We'll be more prepared. Read up for next week. Be prepared.
Yep.
Study up.
Read up. We're just going to read straight through. No chat or anything. And then we'll do the second show like we did today with fellowship and questions and answers. So, and notice that people were answering in chat. So we have questions too. So awesome sauce. Anything else, Gwen?
Nope.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Love you all.
Do you have a list? Wait. Jasmine, Sky said, do you have a list of what we will be reading? So maybe
here, I'll post
can we quickly post it now for the next week? Yeah. And you can always look it up on Now You See TV. They have it there. You can look up. There's a website. I mean, John gave it to me too. There's another one that he gave me that's really good. It's called Torah Life, I think. They have a list there. Torah portions. They have a list there of the weekly readings as well. But John's going to post it. Open that link, and then you can always know for future.
Bookmark it.
Bookmark it, yes. And then you'll always know, like starting tomorrow, we're going to be reading those Torah portions for the week. And then we'll come together next seventh day and we'll chit chat. Okay, the end.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.